I have a message and a reading for someone who has been hard at work on a dream, and you're still waiting for the results to come in or this dream to come true. But what you don't realize is you're about to level up. And you also don't realize that your dream is so much bigger than just you and what you are going to get out of achieving this dream. Your dream is connected to the new earth and the 5D consciousness. So this is a really big message here. This is a really big energy, and I've already pulled cards. So this reading's a little bit different. I was just meditating and asking Spirit for a message to share with this collective. And I was directed to pull some cards and to do a spread. So I have 3 oracle cards, and I've pulled a 9-card tarot spread. So I'm going to share this with you. We're just going to unpack this whole message. It's a really beautiful message. So I'm going to show you the 3 oracle cards I pulled first. We've got change, 555, and creativity. And then this beautiful dragon, the golden Christed dragon. And it says, brings you higher love so that you can embody the Christ light and absorb the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain 5th dimensional. And that is key. My hair is going to drive me nuts. Sorry about that. It's hanging in my face. This part of the card that says remain 5th dimensional is key to this message. Sorry about that. Put it in focus there. You aren't realizing that you are accessing 5D consciousness and whatever you're working on in your dream. The dream that you have, this thing that you are hard at work on, you are accessing 5D consciousness like from time to time, but you're about to level up and experience more high frequency energy and information. I'm hearing like codes and frequencies coming into you, downloads that are going to be like informing your dream and kind of infusing your energy. So your dream is getting taken up to the next notch, the next level. This is something that you are working on that is going to benefit humanity in some way, a large collective in some way. So I'm going to show you the first row here of tarot that came out. We've got the Star, the 4 of Wands, and then together the 2 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles came out together. So what this tells me, this 2 of Pentacles is you leveling up in your work. You're hard at work on your dream, the Star here. And this is going to lead to success, this 4 of Wands. But you're about to go through an up level. The Star is a really beautiful card, all about working on about your dreams, your wish, what your big wish is here for yourself and for your life. This is also connected to Aquarius. Aquarius, of course, we're in the new age of Aquarius. It's a very innovative, humanitarian type of energy. And this is what you are pulling down through the stars, through the cosmos, through your spirit team guiding you. They're guiding you into these new frequencies that you're going to be embodying, this Aquarian energy that you're going to be embodying and infusing into your work. You also have, with this card here, this 4 of Wands, this castle in the back. And notice there's also a castle on this dragon card in the background. And you can't see this, but my computer is right next to me. My screensaver is of a castle. So castles are very, very important to this. It may be like a sign for you, a synchronicity for you, castles. Castles for me are a symbol of a dream, almost like a big, almost impossible dream, like a fairy tale kind of dream. So that is very much present here in this reading, in this energy. I have so many different messages coming through, so I'm trying to kind of organize myself since I already pulled cards. The creativity and this dragon, look at how these rays are coming out. This is that energy that you're going to be emitting when you are absorbing this high frequency Christ light. This is Christ consciousness. That is the energy that really kind of encapsulates what the new earth energy is going to be like. It's just going to be, we're going to be bathed in this higher consciousness, this 5D consciousness, which at its core is Christ consciousness, which is unconditional love. That is the core of it. And this is this energy that's coming into you now, that's infusing your work, that you're going to be radiating out. And, you know, this creativity, this looks like a light bulb here. And it's like you're going to be getting infused with these new creative, innovative ideas. And there's some other cards that I pulled that are in line with this. I'll just go ahead and show them to you now since I'm talking about it. But the Page of Cups, this is a very unique kind of imaginative, really dreamlike sort of energy that you're tapping into. This is your inner child also. When I sat down to meditate, one of the things I heard was you're waking up your inner child. So this is something else that's coming through. And with that Christ consciousness frequency also, for me, that's a very innocent sort of, it's just a pure energy, like pure love. We also have the Knight of Cups here, right? This is just like, he's on this white horse. This is pure, open-hearted love. And you're being open to this and you're ready for this. You're ready to receive this love. You have done some kind of work, some kind of healing work with this star. You know, the star comes after the Tower in the tarot, and this is healing from difficulty and being ready to move on to the next level. Like, this is a lot of hope and optimism, and after a period of difficulty, better times being ahead for you. So you've done some kind of deep healing in your life that is allowing you to have this new frequency pour into you, pour into your vessel, right? This, we've got the cup here, the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups. These are like your cups that you are holding out and you're now ready to receive, or that is maybe a message of keeping your heart open and being ready to receive all these frequencies, these downloads, because the Knight of Cups actually came out with this Knight, or the Nine of Wands, excuse me. And this can sort of feel like almost blocking, you know, don't let the past that was difficult, that you've already healed from, right? Put that behind you. Don't have this wall up still. Keep your heart open. The Page of Cups came out right next to the Knight of Wands, like keeping your heart open and still like open to love, open to giving and receiving love. That was something else that came out in my meditation was, I'm just looking, I wrote down what I was getting in meditation. The past holds nothing more for you now. There's no going back. Slam the door shut. So yeah, waking your inner child, and it's safe to move on. So there's definitely this like purity, this innocence that you still have within you, despite, you know, the difficulties that you've been through. Like, this is the wounded warrior. That's you. You're the wounded warrior, but you've kept your heart open and you're now ready to receive, and you are worthy of this. The card that came out next to the Page and the Knight of Cups was the Emperor. And this is you sitting on this throne, and I'm seeing you like in that castle, and like you are worthy of receiving. You are worthy of being this leadership. This is a reading that's touching on or speaking to the leaders of the new earth. This is just a really big message, and I hope I can do this justice, but like there's some connection with your creativity and what you're building, and it's just so much bigger than you. It's not just, your family and your small community. This is, the emperor being in charge of, a large community. This is new earth leadership energy. The middle row, which I haven't shown you yet, is the Five of Wands, the Three of Wands, and if I can pick it up, the Six of Wands. So there's this really beautiful progression also, because we also had that Four of Wands there. So we have the 3, 4, 5, and 6 of Wands. And the Wands are associated with creativity, just like the Page of Cups. And this is a really just different kind of creativity. With the Star here, with Aquarius being that innovative kind of energy, and the Page of Cups being kind of unique, kind of quirky sort of energy. The Three of Wands is also known as like a nonconformist, somebody who kind of thinks outside the box. This is a creativity that can be a little bit eccentric. I have tapped into this collective multiple times, so if you've watched some of my other readings, this may sound similar about this like unique outside of the box nonconformist kind of way of using your creativity. And it's going to be because you're tapping into like spiritual information, like high frequency energy is informing your creative work. And it's very different than what other people might do or what other people may have seen. So you may feel sort of misunderstood. Like this Five of Wands is making me feel like you're really different, This Three of Wands, he's kind of feeling like he's standing out from the crowd. This was right next to the Five of Wands, this Three of Wands, and this was right in the center of the reading. It's like you're waiting expectantly for this understanding I'm getting and support from others. But up until this point, you kind of feel like you've been misunderstood and not really seen for your vision, right? With this Star, this Aquarian energy, this is someone who's really different, who really sees outside of the box, the traditional way of seeing things. And you just have this kind of unique perspective. And it's the reason why you're feeling like an outsider and why you're not always understood or feeling like you're gelling with people is because you see things differently. You've got this vision for the future, right? He's looking out to the future, and you see the potential for like the new earth, and you're going to start embodying that energy and bringing in those frequencies into this thing that you're working very, very hard on. And it's going to be changing what you're working on. Not drastically. It's still going to be within what you're currently doing, but it's like you're up leveling here. And it's because of this Christ light, this fifth dimensional frequency that you're going to be bringing in. And it's kind of like, it's just raising you up. It's not putting you above others in any way, because Christ light wouldn't be like that kind of energy. This is an energy of, unity consciousness and connection to all. And it's something that's going to benefit humanity. So I'm going to pull some more cards here, and I just want to see kind of where Spirit might want to go with this. We're going to get some more tarot. Spirit, talk to me about this change, this up-leveling. What does this collective need to know about this up-leveling? King of Wands. He's my visionary. This is the king that has a unique outlook. Again, with the wands here, this is very creative. So you're in this position where you are going to be, again, one of these leaders of the new earth, but you're bringing this frequency into whatever it is you're working on now. Okay, so we've got the King of Wands. What else, Spirit? This requires some bravery and some courage, right? Because there's the people that just kind of aren't getting you, they're going to come around eventually. But it may take a while. It may take some time. Don't put this wall up around yourself, even though you're having to work hard and persist, and maybe even persist with like failure after failure in this thing that you've been working on, because we have this waiting energy, this waiting for success. But with the star, it's like, this is going to be successful. You're waiting with this hopeful optimism. So the world just came out. I'm telling you, this is something that is going to be benefiting the world. The King of Wands in the world, like, you have a vision for how this can help the world, and you may not yet. This is what this up-leveling is going to be doing. This up-leveling in your frequency is going to elevate whatever this is that you're working on. This Two of Pentacles is really giving me this up-leveling energy, and it's going to change what you're working on. But it's something that, it's almost like you don't even have to do it. It's not that you've got to figure out how to change what you're working on. Is going to naturally change as you start embodying these frequencies. So we've got the King of Wands, the World, and the World is success too. And the Five of Cups here, this is like disappointments and change too. Like 5 is a number of change. So now we have 2 5s out. The angel number was 3 5s, 555. So maybe another 5 will come out. But this is like the struggle. This is kind of giving me the energy of like the inventor, with the star and the 8 of Pentacles and this visionary King of Wands. And I mentioned like having to do things like over and over and experiencing failures, disappointments, struggle. You're really trying to make this thing work, this dream that you have work. And you may have gone through many failures and disappointments, but you're holding your vision, that you have for this success to come in, and you're believing that it is still possible for you. You're not letting your the failures, the things that didn't work, stop you. And that's the Emperor too. He's sitting on his throne. He's believing in himself. I feel like that's blurry. That's why I'm kind of sitting back looking, but that could just be my bad eyesight. But you're in this position of authority where you're sitting in your castle and you're believing in this hope that you have for humanity. Is how that's coming through. Let me see. Let me ask actually a question before I just start pulling cards. Tell me about this this Page of Cups, this Knight of Cups, this Star. That's too many cards. Although what was interesting there was 2 queens in there. 2 queens and the High Priestess. That's very feminine. That's something else that's really connected with the new Earth is the rise of feminine energy. And that's just a whole other subject. But yeah, that's going to be key, and I'm feeling like the Christ consciousness energy feels very feminine in nature, just that unconditional love, the nurturing, the equality, like the humanitarian view of seeing humanity as we're all equals, and we want a world where everybody is successful and everybody has their needs met. Okay, so the 4 of Swords. So I'm asking about this this high frequency energy, this Page of Cups, this Knight of Cups, this Star, 8 of Swords. So 4 of Swords, 8 of Swords. Like, don't overthink this. There's something here with this 4 of Swords, like this this real like rest and meditative. This is when these frequencies are coming to you. I really feel like there's a whole other like spiritual level to this reading that I haven't really tapped into. See if we want to go there. Yeah, like there's things happening in the unseen for you as far as like accessing these frequencies almost like when you're sleeping, like things are changing in your field, like you're going through upgrades. When you're resting, when you're meditating, you're open, be open to receiving these upgrades. But also, like, yeah, when you're sleeping, right, like your body's just kind of recalibrating and going through these changes, and it's like loosen your grip. I'm getting with this Eight of Swords, like loosen the control that you might be kind of putting over yourself when it comes to your work. The Emperor here too can sometimes be control, and you're trying to control things, and that's kind of putting up like this resistance. This Nine of Wands and this Eight of Swords both feel sort of like resistance, and it's like rest, relax, let this flow into you. Queen of Wands, we have another authority that is connected with creativity with the Wands here. So now we have the King and the Queen of Wands. Like the King and Queen of Wands aren't afraid of being different. Right? They're both nonconformists. They can be a little bit eccentric. They really do have a creative way of leading. Yeah, this is requiring a lot of confidence, like to believe in yourself, believe in what you're receiving. Let that infuse your work. Like, don't think that, the Fool. So the Fool is connected with Uranus. Like, there's just this freedom. Like, let yourself be free. Like, don't restrict yourself. Like, really let these changes that are happening within you, like, come out and express themselves. And it's something that is going to serve humanity in a big way. Spirit, how is this change in their work going to serve humanity? Wow, that flew out very strongly. The Hanged Man, like it's going to cause people to see things differently. There's something that is going to be in your work, in your creative work, or whatever you're doing, that you're adding this like creative flair to what you're doing, your dream. It's going to cause people to see things differently, to it's like going to awaken them is what is going to happen. So let me see. 3 other cards fell out together. Wow. Justice, the Ace of Wands, and the Empress. But the Empress is creativity. This wand here is creativity. There's just like this sudden burst, this inspiration. Let me sit with this for a minute. Yeah, this is like, it's opening up these ideas for the new earth, and is connecting with, now we have the Emperor and the Empress out here. And then we had the King and Queen of Wands. So we have these like divine counterparts. It's like this balancing of the feminine and the masculine. The Wands is masculine. This is growth. This is innovative, creative ideas leading to this growth, this prosperity, right? This is this new earth, this ideas of how we can change things that we're doing now, so we can start creating the new earth now is what I'm getting with this Ace of Wands. Like this begins now, and your creative ideas are going to bring justice for like the things that have gone wrong before us. Like I really feel like this is a really kind of big, deep message about where we are now and where we're going. And, you know, we've got the Star, the Justice card here together. This is like balancing out the wrongs that have been done to humanity, to the earth. Like this is a really, really big thing. And like I said, like this dream feels really big to you, or it's like almost the impossible dream, like this giant castle here. This is like the impossible dream for the future, but you are part of the new leadership that we need for the new earth to come about. And this may be something that, we don't see the full evidence of in our lifetimes, but it's those new creative outside of the box ideas that we need, that cause people to shift, that cause people to wake up, that cause people to see that there is a different way, that there is a possibility. It's like these people, this Five of Wands, like, oh, wait a minute, a light bulb going off. And there's something in the work that you were doing that is going to be shifting because of these new frequencies you're going to be embodying and bringing into your work, that is going to cause people to see something different. And the main thing that I'm getting that they're going to see is that there's hope for the future. People, are losing hope in many, many places, just in general for the world. We've got a lot of big major arcana out here. We have the Star, we have the World, right? This is hope for the world, hope for the future. We have the Emperor, the Empress, Justice, the Fool, right? This is like new beginning. Like, we can start again. We can bring new innovative ideas. And this is about these leaders that we're going to be. Where's my Empress here? I lost her. This is the energy, right? It's just the feminine and the masculine working together very creatively to start creating a new foundation, right? Putting down new roots for communities. So, you may be somebody who has ideas for how communities can thrive, how we can do things differently in community. I'm really feeling like, and this is something that's just been coming up in general in the messages I receive from Spirit, like when I meditate and when I contemplate the future. But the key is going to be small communities. So this is kind of getting into like a different little tangent here, and I'm not going to go too deep on that because this reading is getting long. But the key to the future is actually in small communities. You don't need to feel like we need to change like the huge, big leadership on the planet. Like, you don't need to like run for president to make change. You can make changes in your community, like on a small level. And this is where the new earth is going to be built. It's going to be built from like a small community level. We don't have to start from the top. We can actually start from the bottom and build up and rebuild communities with the visions that we have. These innovative ideas that we can implement on a small level. And this leadership, again, it's the everyday people, right? These kings and the kings and the queens, these emperor, the empress, like, they don't have to be like what we've traditionally thought of as leaders. Like the people who have the most advanced degrees and, the high, elite level like networks. We've had that, and that's what's gotten us to where we are today. And we need something new and something different. And it's the everyday, ordinary, people with a pure, open heart, right? This is the inner child, the people who have like kind of simple, basic ideas, but they're rooted in the heart and they're rooted in Christ consciousness. And it's just the people who are, putting in the hard work day after day on these ideas and believing in them and not giving up on them. I'm trying to find the star card. Right? Like believing in the possibility for the everyday person to, I can't find my card. I'm looking for the Four of Wands. To build up these communities that are innovative, that are different, that have people who think outside the box and who just have a pure heart, and they're going to be channeling these energies. We're very much supported by high dimensional beings, galactic beings, angelic beings, all helping us right now. And if you consider yourself a light worker, or, somebody who is tapping into these high frequencies, you're one of the people that is here to help bring about these changes. So just kind of be open to that and let that flow into the work that you're doing right now, and watch how it changes your work and watch how it changes the world. Okay, so I'm going to leave today's message here. I hope that this resonated with you. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I appreciate it so much, and I'll see you really soon. Bye.